Good tidings, ladies and gentlemen of the lodge, and welcome back. We are firing up another Kingdom Hearts theory video, this one being a part 2 of the Missing Link series. On today's video, we will be drawing the connection between Scala and Caelum and Quadratum. In an interview, Tetsuya Nomura confirmed that Missing Link will be taking place in between Union Cross and Dark Road. More on that later. But with this in mind, I cannot help but feel as though there will be a solid connection from Scala and Caelum all the way to the world of fiction, specifically Quadratum. So without further ado, let's start drawing the connection between the two. So, the first connection that could be drawn immediately clicked in my head during the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer when Strelitzia mentioned that Quadratum serves as an afterlife for the likes of herself and Sora. If Quadratum is going to serve as a sort of afterlife for Sora, and as we all know, Scala and Caelum translates to stairway to heaven, so with Scala and Caelum as the stairway to heaven and Quadratum serving as an afterlife of sorts for Sora, we can already start to see the connection drawn. But what if I told you that this connection goes a step further? Let's take it back to Kingdom Hearts 3. Where did Sora essentially have his last stand before deciding to use the power of waking in the Keyblade Graveyard? Scala and Caelum. Not only that, after using the power of waking, where did Sora end up? Scala and Caelum. Sora was walking the stairway to heaven both before and after his use of the power of waking. So, very simply, if Scala and Caelum serves as the stairway to heaven, that's what brought Sora there and eventually led him to Quadratum, which is serving as the afterlife. One last bit that I suppose I would include here is it's important to remember that Xehanort was essentially the catalyst for reaching Scala and Caelum in the first place, and as we know, he was someone who was aware of Quadratum or the world of fiction's existence. On to our next point. The next point is quite a wild one that's been circulating on the web since the trailer dropped. But check it out, guys. The Scala and Caelum runes can be seen scattered throughout Quadratum. You can see it on license plates, and you can see it on particular signs. The Scala and Caelum runes that we saw in Kingdom Hearts 3 are present here in Quadratum. Now this, of course, could just be a coincidence or a little Easter egg. I mean, all of this is pretty early in production after all, but it's just as easily possible that it could be signaling something much bigger. It could be signaling a connection between Scala and Quadratum. So this last and final point that I'll make is going to circle us around Missing Link. As we now know, Missing Link is going to take place between Union Cross and Dark Road. Now, this particular point might be a bit of a stretch, but hear me out. So as we know, Xehanort was well aware of this world of fiction, and he was the one who in a sense led Sora to the stairway to heaven, Scala and Caelum, and he was also the one who provided Sora with the incentive to misuse the power of waking in order to save Kairi. So between Xehanort being one of the only characters to know about the world of fiction, him being from Scala and Caelum, him providing Sora the motivation that got him to Scala and then eventually Quadratum, and if we recall, that sicko Xehanort was actually born in this early era of Scala and Caelum. I know this final point has no concrete connection, but what if somebody in Scala and Caelum sent Xehanort on this path knowing what the final outcome would be? What if Xehanort himself is a connection between Scala and Quadratum? Only time will tell. So before we wrap up, let's review our connections here. Connection 1, the stairway to heaven, Scala and Caelum, and Quadratum being the afterlife. Seems to be a nice A to B connection there. Connection 2, the Scala runes are present in Quadratum. Now again, this could just be like an early development Easter egg. We'll have to wait and see if this is in the final product and if it's actually going to connect Scala and Caelum to Quadratum or if it's just going to be a fun Easter egg. And our final connection, I suppose I'll call a quasi-connection, since it isn't as concrete as the other two. But quasi-connection, Xehanort himself. So with both Dark Road and Missing Link coming down the line, it stands to reason that more information is headed our way. We know for sure Missing Link will fill in the gaps between Union Cross and Dark Road, but will it also provide another kind of Missing Link in the modern era? I have to believe that one of these upcoming titles will reveal not only how Xehanort found out about the world of fiction, but what set him along this path that was the catalyst to Sora's arrival. Ladies and gentlemen, sickos and normies, I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, I could be wrong, but I can't help but believe there's going to be some kind of connection between Scala and Quadratum, even if it's as simple as Scala being the place where Quadratum, or the world of fiction, is discovered. But at the end of the day, I'm here to see what you guys think. So please, whether you agree or disagree, feel free to share your comments below. Be sure to drop a like and a sub. You all be good out there, be good to each other, and I will see all of you beautiful sickos and normies next time.